We're going to put Texas on a path to have plenty of water for the next 5 decades. We will make the largest investment in water in the history of the state of Texas.
During his State of the State address, Governor Greg Abbott listed 7 emergency items for this legislative session. One centered on his call for lawmakers to make a, quote, generational investment in water infrastructure. That includes $1 billion a year for a decade to find new water supplies and repair faulty pipes. This afternoon, we're going to highlight some of the ideas already coming up at the Capitol to accomplish some of these things with Alejandra Martinez. She's an environmental reporter for the Texas Tribune. Alejandra, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So State Senator Charles Perry is really the one driving a lot of these conversations. He has made water infrastructure a priority for the past decade. What kind of work is he doing to put water infrastructure in the spotlight?
Yeah, definitely. Senator Charles Perry has been advocating for water for more than a decade. He has been meeting with water lobbyists, local leaders, his fellow lawmakers, and has really been working hard to secure the support necessary to invest in water supply for the next 5 decades or longer. I mean, he really wants to make sure that his plan does not fail. He wants to grow and guarantee new water supply. And it seems like he's succeeding. I mean, yesterday, Abbott turned to him during his State of the State address and said that with help from him, he was going to, Abbott declared this an emergency item with help from Perry and other lawmakers. He wants to see it through. Really, when we think about, okay, what this plan is going to do, Perry has told us it will create a dedicated funding stream, a stream of state tax dollars to help water agencies and cities buy more water and update the water infrastructure that carries that water into homes, businesses, and farms.
So you'll be following that bill throughout this next legislative session that we're currently underway. But what are some of the problems the state is facing when it comes to water infrastructure, and how are lawmakers hoping to address those?
Yeah, I mean, the state really needs a lot of water and it needs a lot of funding. There was a Texas 2036 report that estimated that the state needs nearly 154 billion by 2050 for water infrastructure alone. So, this old infrastructure and leaky pipes has really contributed to drought, water contamination, declining water supply from reservoirs, aquifers, and even some water outages. That is one of the state challenges, and the lack of water supply is really impacting our agriculture producers that don't have water to grow crops. Another thing that is a really big challenge is population growth. The 2022 State Water Plan estimated that the state's population will increase by 73%. So something that I hear time and time again from water advocates, experts, and even lawmakers is that when people move here, they don't bring water with them. So, this funding is really necessary. Because these water experts have told us that water supply projects aren't just becoming, they're not just becoming more challenging and complex, and the easiest projects have already been developed or have already been done.
Yeah, certainly not going anywhere, this particular problem, but what are some of the other water projects that are happening right now across the state?
Yeah, one thing that's been talked about is water desalination. And that is the process of removing minerals or salt from water to make it drinkable. I mean, we have seen, I think the city of Corpus Christi just got a permit for a seawater desalination plant that's going to remove that salty material from the water and attempt to make it drinkable, or at least used for irrigation at agriculture facilities or farms. There's this other idea about the state water grid. So these grid of pipelines transporting water from the water-rich regions like East Texas of the state to arid, drought-stricken areas like West Texas. And that's actually an idea that's been circulating in our state water plans since the 1960s.
Well, Alejandra Martinez, we'll leave our conversation there. We hope to continue this conversation with you at some point because this issue, as we say, is not going anywhere this session. So thank you again for your reporting. We appreciate that, and we'll see you soon.